We are in the final 2 weeks before the 2026 Run Disney Marathon weekend. And these last 2 weeks are not about your fitness. They're all about managing your energy, calming your mind, and making really smart decisions so that you can arrive at the start line super confident and well rested and ready to execute. So I'm Jill Bartholomew, head coach at Be Fierce Multisport, and I am also a 6-time Dopey finisher, as well as a multiple Ironman and World Championship finisher. And this is day 14 on our daily countdown till Dopey. Tune in every day for a new tip to get you through the finish line. All right, so today's topic, you are ready, even if you don't feel like it. So you have put in the work. You have trained for 6, 9, 12, maybe more months, depending on where you started and your level of anxiety about these races. And let's be honest with ourselves. Dopey is a big undertaking. It is 48.6 whole miles. And despite Disney's motto, every mile is not always magical. And if you follow my podcast, we did an entire hour and 10-minute episode on every mile is not magic. All right. So think about it. You've gained all this fitness. In your last 2 weeks, your body is at its peak. You are just right at or near your peak fitness capability for this race. What that means is that from here until the start line, your main jobs are recover from the training that you have put in, show up to the start line rested and healthy, and don't hurt yourself in the next 2 weeks. And that last part is really important because when you are at your peak fitness, that also means that your body is at its most tired. You are more likely to hurt yourself in these last 2 weeks than you are in the last 9 months. All right? Just keep that in mind. It doesn't mean that you're going to put in fewer hours between now and the start line. What it does mean is it means you are going to be really, really smart about what you do, where you do it, when you do it, how you do it, and it means that it's going to be at a lower intensity. So the big question, all athletes, I get this from my Ironman triathletes all the time. You are going to lose fitness. Not a lot, but you're going to lose some. But it's going to be offset by the increase in physical recovery that you are going to do over the next 2 weeks. And tomorrow we're going to talk more about that taper. Taper starts now. We are going to talk about why taper sucks so much. And it does in so many ways, mentally and physically. But what I want you to walk away from today is the anxiety you're feeling about the race, especially if this is your first time, or if this is not your first time, but maybe you've done it before and you haven't been able to finish. Anxiety is normal. If you didn't have some hesitation and some self-doubts, you would be weird. Like, let's just be honest. Everyone, even professionals, when they line up for a race they trained for, they still have the butterflies in the stomach. That's totally normal. And don't think that you're weird or that you can't do it just because you're nervous. Nervousness is healthy and it's good. Your fitness is already built. It's there. You've put the work in. You've maybe, hopefully, followed a plan, whether it's the Jeff Galloway plan that runDisney gives for free, or maybe you have a coach, or maybe you downloaded one of the many 48.6 Dopey plans that are out there on the internet or Facebook. You've followed a plan. It got you here. Okay, so trust the process. You put the time in. You followed the process. Trust it. If the process says, hey, now is taper, do it. If the process doesn't say now is taper, and you're not using Dopey as a training for another race, and that might sound really weird for some people, but it happens. Like if you're training for an ultra marathon, you might actually use a race like Dopey as a training race. That said, that is not most of you. All right. So trust the process. Now, We are 2 weeks out. This is when all the self-doubt really starts to get loud in our heads. You've got upcoming travel, unless you've already traveled, but we're still 2 weeks away, so most haven't. So you've got upcoming travel you got to get through. What shoes am I bringing? Am I bringing 1 pair, 2 pair, 4 pair, 19 pairs? You have all sorts of decisions still to make. And it's all piling up in the back of your mind. Maybe you already have your suitcase packed, but that doubt is in there somewhere. Again, totally normal. Follow your plan. Dwelling on that doubt and let go of perfection. I'm going to talk about that for a second. What is perfection? Perfection is nailing every bit, every piece, every nook and cranny of your training plan. Forget about it. None of us are perfect. We get sick. We have family over. We have jobs. Maybe sometimes the day gets away from us and we can't do everything we want to do. Maybe you had a 20-mile long run last weekend, which was probably your last long run. Maybe you had that 20-mile run and you only made 9 miles into it. And you threw up your arms and you said, I'm done. I can't do any more of this. That's okay. And it's normal. It happens to everybody, right? I don't care who you are. We all have good days. We all have bad days. Sometimes we're sick and we don't even know it and we get out there. We know within the first 7 minutes of a workout how that workout is going to go. So if you made it 9 miles into a 20-mile run, then you made it 10 times or more past that 7 minutes. And maybe that felt horrible the whole time, but you stuck it out. You should really pat yourself on the back for that. So don't dwell on it. One run, even if it's a long run, out of the last 6-9 months of runs is not going to make or break the difference. At this point, all of the runs on your plans are about maintaining fitness. That's it. Think about it. Maintaining fitness. They should be reducing in intensity. Maybe not duration, but intensity. And we don't really talk much on plans about distance. We talk more about time, because it's time on feet that matters more than miles, right? Some people are faster than other people, but an hour is still an hour. All right. So that's it for today. Join me tomorrow as we dive into taper and why it feels so awful. I will see you tomorrow. All right. Good luck with Dopey, and definitely tune in, hit like, subscribe, whatever platform you're on. Be fierce.